Welcome to Synchronize Swatches, your twice-monthly dose of coolness. I'm your host, Chip Johnson.
And I'm the other guy, Chris Gregory.
Every other week, we watch an episode of the cult classic 90s sitcom Parker Lewis Can't Lose, and then we record ourselves talking about it.
It's time for Operation Report... God damn it. It's time for Operation Record the Podcast. Are you ready?
You got it, sirs.
Gentlemen, Synchronize Swatches. Not a problem.
I've never liked you, Lewis.
Not a problem.
Eat now?
Clean out your locker, you're finished.
So we got a very special episode today. The Honorable Troy Slaten is back with us. Thanks for coming back,
Troy.
man.
Thank you for having me again.
How you been doing, man? What have you been up to since we last talked?
I've been judging, trying not to be too judgy. But I've also been doing my side gig, which is water polo announcing. So just this last weekend, I was in Orange County, California, for a huge tournament sponsored by Quicksilver, where I was announcing men's and women's water polo. So I'm the guy on the side of the pool announcing the players and then calling the game while it's happening.
Wow,
and
that's awesome.
They did something really cool that I've never seen before at a water polo game. As I was doing the pregame, as I'm announcing the players for each team in ascending order of their caps, they had them run out through an inflated tunnel with smoke coming up on the side. So they're really trying to make an effort for water polo, which is one of those sports that a lot of people go, well, where do the horses go?
Yeah, right.
So how'd you get into that? Just fall into it?
When I was a student at UCLA, most of my friends played water polo. So there were a few guys in my fraternity that played water polo, and I became just my dearest friends, my closest friends at school, all played water polo. And so I've been friends with them for 30 years plus.
Right.
And now one of the friends that I went to school with when I was at UCLA is the head coach at UCLA for men's and women's water polo. Mm-hmm. So I'm the regular announcer for UCLA, and some people that run other tournaments came, saw and heard me, and then hired me to announce at their tournaments. So,
dude, that's awesome.
That's
man.
awesome.
It's a fun little gig. I mean, anytime someone's willing to put a microphone in front of me and give me free reign,
there you go.
I'm willing to do it.
Is that something is that broadcast as well? Is it just in the...
The NC2A championship game is maybe broadcast on ESPN, but under 18 games, they're streamed for friends and family.
Yeah.
That's about it.
I got you. That's cool. Though,
also,
man.
I've done a few episodes of Nancy Grace. I was covering the P. Diddy trial for Nancy Grace, where I'm the person that she argues with.
Of course.
And I always take the defense position. It was hard. They say, Troy, can you come in and defend P. Diddy? Well, no, but what I will do is the way I get around it is I'll say something like, P. Diddy's defense team will argue, or they're likely to say something like that.
Yeah, exactly. Distance yourself a little bit from that.
Yeah.
Good God, man.
Oh, man.
I bet you were sitting there thinking, boy, I wish they were playing water polo right now.
That's right. That's right.
Oh,
cool.
man.
All right. Well, do you want to dive into this episode?
Jerry's first date.
Jerry's first date. Yep. That's right.
So exciting. I just watched it. Watched it.
Cool. Well, yeah, this is season 1, episode 21, Jerry's first date. And we have our German episode title queued up here.
Nutze den Tag.
Thank you, Paul.
I don't know if you heard that, Jerry. We've, Jerry, Jesus Christ. I'm sorry, Troy.
Fine. You call me Jer.
You can call me Jer. Yeah, we had one of our listeners in Germany recorded all the episode titles in German for us so that I could stop butchering the German.
Awesome.
So yeah, the German translation is "seize the day," which makes sense, I guess, as you can go through this episode.
This episode, we were talking so much about UCLA. all the exterior college shots and interior were all done at UCLA.
Oh, wow. That's interesting.
That's some great trivia right there.
Yeah, that's cool.
All those shots. At first, I wasn't sure. I was looking at it. I thought I remembered. And then I saw the exteriors. Yeah, for sure. That was UCLA.
Yeah.
Awesome.
That makes sense. I was wondering about that. Yeah. So this is Brian Spicer directing this episode, and I think it's actually kind of noticeable a couple of times. There's some. I think we've seen enough of them now. We're starting to see some.
We notice the style.
Some clues. Yeah. So,
Anytime there's a something cam.
Yes.
Like in this episode, the Frisbee cam.
Yep, exactly.
Or the guitar cam or something cam.
Yep.
That's
great.
Yeah, that's a great technique too. I really like that the Frisbee thing. That was awesome.
So I think they had to put it on a motor. So they put the Frisbee on a motor so it would spin while it's attached to the front of the camera dolly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool, man.
Great effect.
So my episode synopsis, Jerry Steiner is a man in love. After gathering the courage to ask his crush out and scoring his first date, Jerry is desperate to have Parker and Mikey there to guide him through. I decided to keep it short and sweet there. So
yeah, that was good.
Yeah, so our for opening title gag here, everyone is abusing the office Xerox machine. Miss Musso starts off by creating a photocopy of her thumb. And then Jerry sprays cleaner all over the glass and proceeds to squeegee it. And I like that he's like really focusing on some little part he can't get to go away, and then that's when the thing takes copies his face. And then we see Parker and Mikey smush their faces against the glass and hit the button.
It just smudges it again after Jerry did all that hard work.
Yeah, exactly. I was gonna say that's like the PG version, because I imagine in the real world they probably would have like stuck their butts on it or something like that.
Oh yeah, sure. Which it's interesting. You can see at this point we're late into the first season. We've already become caricatures of ourselves.
Yeah,
we have already fully embraced it. Where Musso's thumb, that's her gag. So that's something that the writers have embraced and all the characters have embraced. Really, the caricatures that we've made of ourselves. The writers made, the creators.
Yeah, and to that point, the last sequence is Kubiak, and he's just photocopying a T-bone. At least I think it's a T-bone. I'm not sure.
But it makes a sizzling. It makes the sizzling noise as he puts it on the Xerox. There's the sound effect of sizzling.
Yes,
natural. Yes, of course. You're right. So we cut to Parker Central, where Mikey and Parker are studying the monitors intently, and they're commenting on Jerry's strange recent behavior. And on screen, we see 4 young women seated on the steps in the school hallway, and then Jerry slowly emerges from behind the wall and taps one of them on the shoulder, and then he retreats. And a moment later, he emerges again, and this time he flips her hair like a 6-year-old and then retreats again. And this young woman is clearly growing frustrated here. And Parker explains a voiceover that they've come to expect certain things from Jerry, including cleanliness and peanut butter and jelly sandwiches where the jelly doesn't come out the sides. At this point, Jerry arrives in Parker Central, and he's whistling.
It's time to talk.
What's up, sirs?
Maybe you can tell us.
Seems like you've been calling the same number.
And hanging up.
186 times.
And you haven't alphabetized the video library in 2 weeks.
And you've been whistling show tunes.
I love how just 2 weeks of neglect from Jerry causes that much damage.
Yeah.
They're just like sprawled everywhere.
Yeah,
wouldn't it be easy to just put them back where they belong?
Yeah,
exactly. Come on, fellas.
Am I the only one that does work around here?
Yeah. Parker and Mikey are just little kids, man.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
But you've noticed there is that theme that you guys have picked up on, where we're always spying on each other with closed circuit camera.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, for sure.
I just happen to be in the hallway, trying to nudge the object of my attention, and they're spying on me.
Yeah. I gotta say too, I love the first shot of him doing that. Like, just the way he emerges very, very stealthily off to the side. It's just a funny shot, the way he's just like sneaking out there to tap her on the shoulder. But yeah, so Jerry's in there and he's been whistling show tunes. So then Mikey sneezes and Jerry reaches into his coat and produces a bowling pin. And Jerry realizes at this point that it's time to come clean. He's in love. And when Parker asks him who he is in love with, he points to the monitors in Parker Central, and we see the face of Melissa.
Melissa's played by AJ Langer. Probably most famous at this time, for My So-Called Life, or maybe just after this, right?
After that,
yeah, she had a recurring role in My So-Called Life. She's on a few episodes of Baywatch, Drexel's Class, and then what I really remember her from is Seinfeld. Do you guys remember the Mentor episode of Seinfeld?
Yeah.
I'm a huge Seinfeld fan. I haven't seen her. I don't remember.
Yeah.
Which episode was it?
So it's season 8, episode 6. It's called The Fatigues, but like Jerry's dating Abby, who's played by AJ Langer, and she has a mentor, and I guess the mentor starts dating, was it Banyan, I think, or something? Who Jerry hates, Yeah. So he's like, I don't know if I can date a protege whose mentor is dating Banyan or whatever. But yeah, that's what I always remember from is that Seinfeld episode. But,
that's right. I forgot about it, yeah.
So he's also in Escape from L.A. and The People Under Stairs, which is a great film.
And a little fun fact, we went out on a real date.
Oh, wow.
Did you?
I don't know if it's date. I took her to a movie premiere.
Hold on a second. You took her where? I'm sorry.
I took her to a movie premiere, and I looked it up. There's a photograph. There's a Getty Images photograph. If you look up Troy Slaten, AJ Langer, you can find the photograph with the watermark
right
across it, and it's there. So you guys, look it up.
Yeah.
We'll post that in here.
We'll blow our whole budget so we can buy that photo and put it into the episode.
You don't need to buy it. Just use the watermarked one.
I know. Just joking. No, we're going legit. Damn it. Yeah. Even though we're completely pirating all these Parker clips that we're putting in this show.
No, we're not. This is all totally legit.
Corky's friends with Balthazar Getty. You'll be fine.
Oh, man.
Yeah, so according to Parker, Melissa is a sophomore with a 3.8 GPA, and she dates college guys. So we cut to the hallway.
Totally out of my league.
Yeah, right, yeah.
Poor Jerry.
He does all right for himself, I think. So we're in the hallway. Kubiak opens his locker, and the student bursts out and flees. And it's funny, like Kubiak kind of tries to get at him, but he doesn't quite get him. It's not much. It's kind of a half-hearted effort there.
Yeah, I love this guy. Yeah, he kind of, and he's like, oh, whatever. There'll be another. Like, it's just.
And it's funny too, because like I think probably just because of the gag we're about to see, I think this might be the first time we've seen Koob in like a full long sleeve shirt, button up and everything. He seemed overdressed to me,
Right.
But it makes sense because we start hearing this stretching and ripping sound effect, and Kubiak begins to expand before our eyes and before the eyes of a small group of classmates who are all just dwarfed as he grows. And when this noise subsides, most of his clothing is either torn or stretched to its limits, and the smiley face on his t-shirt is now just a straight line.
Yeah, that's probably one of my favorite gags of this show is just that now that the smiley face is so stretched and it just looks like it's in pain.
Yeah,
I'm surprised they didn't do more of a like an Incredible Hulk kind of thing, like showing the ripping on the bicep and the chest, the ripping of the shirt and stuff.
Yeah, that would have been great. I mean, he did it with his shoes, I guess. His feet grew at the same time and burst out of his shoes. But so he says sorry, and he says sorry, growth spurt. And as he lumbers away, we see Parker, Mikey, and Jerry standing in the hall. Mikey and Parker insist that Jerry ask Melissa out. Jerry claims that they've reached a comfortable plateau in our relationship. Mikey points out that Mikey points out that Jerry worships the ground she walks on, and Melissa doesn't know he exists. But Jerry seems more than happy with this arrangement. And they see Melissa at her locker down the hall, and she's looking very angelic in the light from the window. Jerry insists that there's no way he can ask her out. And Mikey gets right in his ear and asks if he likes this girl or not. And Jerry responds by floating away to the sounds of birds chirping. Just like my favorite shot of the whole episode. I love that. I love how he just turns his head like this and just starts floating away. It's hilarious. And they're forced to physically return him to the earth.
The way they made Jerry float up is they used another camera dolly. And so they set it on the lowest setting with a piece of plywood on it that I stepped on and then had to bend my knees a little bit so I would maintain my correct height ratio to the other actors. And then the dolly grip turns the the dolly and I would start to go up and it can go down, and it goes very smooth because it's what would normally a camera would be mounted on.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. It's a great effect.
So that's how they did it.
That.
Yeah.
That's what behind the scenes. Pull back the curtain.
Yeah. We love that. We love that stuff.
Sometimes I used to think that, knowing how a magic trick is done kind of makes it not as cool. You don't like the magic trick as much, but not for me. I watch movies and I have complete suspension of disbelief where I'm watching the movie. I'm in it. I can cry. I believe that the stuff is really happening while it's happening. So
yeah, I agree. I'm the same way.
Yeah.
But I also love to see the behind the scenes.
Me too, man. Me too.
So Parker tells Jerry carpe diem, and this convinces him. And the buds point him in the right direction after he tries to walk in a different direction. The fact that they grab him, pull him back, point him back towards her, and he slowly approaches her. And as he approaches, he sees 3 scenarios play out. And I really identified with this because I feel like this happened a lot to me when I was younger, where you're going in to ask somebody something very important, and everywhere you look, you see all the terrible ways it's going to go. So in this first one, she just laughs at him and says, "That's cute, but she's busy." In the second scenario, she's surprised and taken aback, and then she says she's married. And that's great. And in the third one, this is the one I would have expected, I think, myself, which tells you a little bit about my psyche. But in the third, she's very dismissive and offended, telling him she wouldn't go out with him if he was the last geek on Earth.
That was hard for her.
So Jerry snaps out of this, and he's standing directly in front of her, and she recognizes him, and Jerry asks her out immediately on Saturday. And after a dramatic pause, during which Parker leans over with this hammer, prepared to smash the emergency glass housing a teddy bear, Melissa says she would love to go out with him. Elation! Jerry is all smiles. Mikey and Parker are all smiles and high fives. Then she says she can't, and we hear Pac-Man die. It's a great little sound effect there. She explains that she's taking advanced courses at Valley College, and orientation is on Saturday. And Jerry just walks away dejected.
And I have to say, the music gets really dark and ominous here. Like, I don't know if you notice, like, more so than the normal kind of like, dark and ominous like Frank Limmer music. It's like it's a whole different vibe.
Yeah.
Like,
but Melissa stops him and asks if he'd like to come with her. Jerry agrees enthusiastically, and Mikey and Parker both congratulate Jerry on achieving coolness. And then we cut to Jerry, who is sprawled out on the floor, Family Guy style.
It was just too much. It was too much for Jerry.
Yes,
it was
hilarious.
Overload.
Yeah.
Jerry's passed out.
Yeah, it's great. I love any shot where you turn and there's just somebody laid out on the floor like that. It's great. So, I guess that's probably the commercial break there, I think. But
I think it is, yeah.
Yeah. So
I like your note, Chris, that it's like totally Family Guy style, like laid out. It's just sprawled out.
His arms all backwards and stuff. Yeah, it's great. So when we come back from commercials, we're back in Parker Central, specifically inside a bathtub. And Jerry is hiding in the bathtub with snorkeling gear on, and Parker and Mikey are trying to get him to come out. And I just happened to notice there was an Andrew Dice Clay poster on the wall in the background. Yes. Just crazy.
Very appropriate for high school kids, right?
Yeah, exactly right. That's my thought. Yeah.
Or for a family show.
Yeah. Right. So Jerry emerges briefly, but when he sees the monitors covered with Melissa's face, he eeks and resubmerges. Because Jerry's getting cold feet, and Mikey insists he can't run from his fears. Otherwise, he'll end up alone in a one-room shack with a light bulb for heat and a yappy dog. And if he doesn't do it now, he'll never do it. They tell him to think about it, and then they leave. Then, a mysterious older man in a trench coat peers into the bathtub.
And this is played by Jan Robson or Jan Robinson, probably Jan Robson, who plays older Jerry. And
wearing my glasses.
Yeah, wearing your glasses? Oh, like the same exact glasses?
So. Yeah.
He's known for, he's a prolific voice actor, actually. And as Chris pointed out, he's got a lot of credits that are like, what'd you call it, Chris? Like
sequel series,
sitcoms.
Yeah.
Yeah. After MASH, What's Happening Now? The new Yogi Bear show.
What's Happening Now?
Yeah.
What's happening?
The new WKRP in Cincinnati.
Yeah.
So,
there's so many of them.
He's in a lot of the sequel series.
That's great. I shouldn't make fun of him that much because my one episode of Different Strokes was when it had already jumped the shark. And, Mr. Drummond was married to Dixie Carter. They brought in the new redhead kid, Sam. I'm not sure that Gary Coleman was even in the episode. Yeah. So it was, I shouldn't make fun of him for being on all the after series.
It's one of the things that I think I really enjoy about looking at the IMDb credits for a lot of the people who were on the show from that time period is the ones that have enormous IMDb lists. They invariably have at least a dozen appearances on shows like that. They're the new WKRTP or whatever, KT, whatever the fuck.
WKRP. WKRP in Cincinnati.
Get it right.
I lost it.
WKRP in Cincinnati.
There you go.
The new one.
But I think that's probably a sign of the times. Like the 80s, there were so many of those like sequel shows. Like wasn't there like a new Leave It to Beaver as well or something?
Yeah. Yeah, we were talking about that when we did the episode with Jerry Mathers on it. Yeah.
So I think if you were working prolifically in that time period, you couldn't help but be on those shows.
I was in driver's ed with one of the kids on the new Leave It to Beaver.
Oh, yeah? Great trivia.
Yeah.
She was in my driver's ed class.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so let's see, where were we? A startled Jerry pops out of the water, but the older man tells him to ignore those guys.
Hey, don't listen to them. Your future will be fine without this date thing. Here, have a treat.
Brownies a la mode with sprinkles? How'd you know?
I know everything about you, Jerry. I'm your future. Things are going quite well for us, actually. We're in technical school now, learning all about VCR repair. Top of the class.
Really? Top of the class?
Uh-huh. But you're risking it all by going on this date. Big mistake. Do you realize the kind of upheaval this girl could introduce into your life? She'll upset the whole balance.
When Jerry attempts to respond, the old man has vanished. Strangely, however, the brownie a la mode hasn't vanished. Jerry tucks right into it. I didn't notice that until like the third or fourth viewing of this. I was like, wait a second, the brownie a la mode's still there. That's weird.
The brownie a la mode that is really a scoop of colored mashed potatoes with sprinkles. And maybe, and some sort of, maybe thick manufacturing cream that won't melt under those hot lights.
That's the best acting anybody did was eating that kind of stuff, I think. Not immediately vomiting.
Yes.
Right. Mashed potatoes with food coloring.
Yeah. So later in Parker Central, Parker is actually drying Jerry's hair for him. And Jerry insists that Mikey and Parker... it's so funny. They took such good care of that guy. Jerry insists that Mikey and Parker have to shadow him on his date to make sure he doesn't mess it up. And Mikey insists that Jerry will be fine, but after Jerry pleads with them, they agree to be there every step of the way.
I guess they couldn't do the Cyrano de Bergerac gag again because they had already done it. We already did it in the pilot.
Yep,
that's
exactly.
Right. Yeah.
Otherwise, that would have been the right
Obvious.
setup to have Jerry have some sort of earpiece to be fed lines and things to say, and then something goes wrong with that.
Exactly.
I guess that one went haywire in the pilot, so they're like, okay, we can't use that plan anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
It'll never work. It didn't work that one time, it'll never work.
Yeah, that's right, yeah. So we cut back outside, and we're at a phone booth, which is something that used to be outside buildings, children, and you could use it to call people. It's a little booth, literally a phone booth. So Kubiak's inside this phone booth, and he's calling the hormone hotline from the payphone. The operator asks him his name, and eventually he says his name. And then when asked for the spelling, he resorts to pulling his own underwear out of his pants so he can read the letters on the waistband. He's
giving himself a wedgie.
Yeah.
I
love the pause. I love the pause when they ask him his name. He's like, Larry Kubiak. We're back to Dum Dum Koob here.
Yeah.
So at this point, the stretching and tearing sounds return, and Kubiak's arms burst through the glass on either side of the phone booth, and his head forces a blister to form in the top of the booth. So he's having another growth spurt. We cut to Miss Musso's office, where it's interesting. We see it from the outside through the window. We see like the silhouette of obviously Frank, and he's verbally accosting Miss Musso in her office. He's wearing his normal clothes, but he's augmented them with a heavily studded black leather jacket. and he slams his fist on the desk and calls her a weenie-brained ice queen.
Oh, very good, Frank. She loves it. So then you immediately know that it's some sort of thing that they have going on
exactly.
with each other.
Yeah,
Exactly. Some weird twisted thing.
Yeah.
She said that this will, he's going to demonstrate this for the disciplinarians of America, apparently. And then he calls her a toad, and she tells him that'll be enough. And she says she's hoping her speech will impress the attendees, the toughest in the nation. And then Frank tells her to go bite a rock, and she tells him to shut up. Great sequence there. Now we're in the hallway, and Parker and Mikey are observing Jerry in a classroom. He's in there by himself, and he's in some sort of trance. And he's writing Melissa's name over and over in every line of his notebook. And I made a note here because I think your tongue is sticking out. Like,
okay,
the side of your mouth, just like you're just in a coma, but your tongue's sticking out. And I also made a note here that it looks like we have old Jerry hands here again, because we've got, when you're writing in the notebook, I don't think, we've commented a couple times on these
hairy hands.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chip noticed that the first time. That shit goes right over my head, but this time I was like, hey, wait a second.
In the cutaway, I'm like, that hand's a little too hairy. I don't think it's Troy.
Yeah.
It's the B unit doing what are called inserts.
Inserts, yeah.
That's great.
That's great.
So Miss Musso is walking down the hallway, and she's running her fingernails across a shop file, and she tells Frank that all this discipline talk has made her hungry, and to find her someone to expel. And in his daze, Jerry has allowed his pen to continue beyond the page, and he writes Melissa's name on the desk. And in that moment, Musso and Frank arrive with an enormous magnifying glass and catch this act of vandalism. And I made a note here. There's some pretty nice graffiti in the back.
Yeah, and the graffiti, I think it says Clyde. So I'm guessing that's a reference to Clyde Phillips, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
100%. Just like on the door to many of the classrooms in the hallway, like it would have a plaque for what room it is, like English.
Oh yeah.
On and Clyde wrote next to it Diane English.
Yeah.
Or Diane in front of English.
English, yeah.
She was a producer that was friends with him. She was famous for being the creator and exec producer on Murphy Brown.
That's right. Yeah.
For which I was also in an episode of that.
Oh, yeah? Cool.
Me and Mayim Bialik and why am I forgetting his name? Zach from Saved by the Bell, the main guy.
Mark Paul Gosselaar.
Yeah.
Yep, that's it. Mark Paul Gosselaar was also in that episode.
Oh wow.
What was the point? What was the premise of that one?
It was FYI for kids. So FYI was their magazine show that they produced, and so there were young versions of everybody. So
that's great.
Mayim Bialik was the young Murphy Brown, and Mark Paul Gosselaar was the young anchor, and I was the young Frank Fontana, the investigative reporter.
That's great. I loved Frank. He was great.
Oh, I gotta look that episode up, man. I want to watch that. That's great.
Okay, so we're back in Miss Musso's office, and Musso is charging the buds with vandalism and defacing school property. Parker asks her to have a heart, which does not go over well. And Musso sentences them to a Saturday spent repainting the entire classroom. And Jerry reminds Parker of his date on Saturday. And Parker in VO says that when a best bud needs you, nothing can stand in your way. And he explains that there has been a family emergency and that the three of them have to help out at Mondo Video this Saturday. He offers to serve Saturday detention the following week, and Miss Musso must acquiesce to the dreaded family emergency excuse. And outside her office, we see the door swing open, the glass shatters, and the buds are all dismissed. And as they exit, Jerry remarks to Parker how amazing it is that the old family emergency excuse still works. And then we smash cut to Mondo Video. Bad news. Parker's dad needs him to work this Saturday. It's Video Amnesty Day, when all rental fines are excused. See, kids, back in the day, we would rent a video.
Like library books. And if they were late, that's how the stores really made their money.
Yep.
That's right. Yep, exactly.
Or they were like me. I might even have, back in my VHS collection, I might have a Blockbuster Video one just there that I just never returned. And then after a certain point, you're like, okay, I own it.
Yeah.
Come after me now, guys.
They don't exist anymore, so I think you won.
I'm not sure. I think they won because I'm sure they charged me.
Yeah, there you go.
What?
It's Video Amnesty Day. The one day a year every social reprobate can return their overdue videos penalty-free.
Great. Just what I need. A whole day of rewinding copies of Ernest Goes to Camp when I should be helping Jerry.
My note here was, God help me, I loved that movie as a kid, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that was
Ernest
a great
Goes
one.
to Camp. I don't know how many damn times I watched that stupid-ass movie.
Yep, that's a good one. They ain't
Or
gonna
all
take
the
this
Ernest
camp.
movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Camp was my favorite of all of them. I mean, the
Yeah.
Christmas one was good too, and Halloween was good too, but like the Camp was the one I always went back to. I don't know why.
Didn't he get famous? Wasn't Ernest famous originally from a commercial?
Yeah.
Yep.
And he was able to parlay that into a movie career?
Yes.
Yeah.
And a TV show.
Brilliant.
I think he had a TV show at some point too, like a
Or
Saturday
specials
morning.
at least, yeah.
Yeah,
So-
like Saturday
you might be
morning
right, yeah.
TV show briefly on like CBS or something. But yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
He totally parlayed a commercial. It was a couple like, was it milk or?
Yeah, it was like some
Yes.
basic, some basic thing like eggs or something or cheese or something like
But
that.
and he would always
Or
be
milk.
talking to like the fictional guy behind the camera, Vern or
Vern,
whatever.
man,
and like,
Vern.
Yeah. Vern.
Hey,
So
Vern,
thanks
it's
to the
Ernest.
Dairy Council, he became a movie star.
Exactly. Quite a trajectory.
Coming this summer, Flo from Progressive in her first feature film.
I wouldn't doubt it.
No, absolutely not. Yeah, so it's decision time for Parker. The lights drop and two monitors rise up behind Parker. Behind his right shoulder is Devil Parker, who tells him to give his dad a bogus excuse. He'll never find out. And then over his left shoulder, Angel Parker tells him to be honest and trust his dad to be the kind, understanding dad he is. The lights come back up and Parker chooses the evil path. He tells Marty he can't work Saturday because there's been a terrible outbreak of graffiti, and he is spearheading the cleanup committee.
You know, that was a live effect that you realize was done in real time at that moment. And things like that are not easy to pull off.
No.
Nowadays,
Yeah.
with everything digital, that would be an easy thing to do.
Yeah.
But that was actual TVs on a lift. They probably used dollies again.
Yeah.
And had to time it perfectly and had
With
to
the
have
lights.
all the lighting ready to go
Yeah.
and have other lights come up so that way you could still have the exact correct lighting on his face and adjust the aperture maybe of the film camera in real time at that moment. There were so many moving parts just to pull off a little gag like that, and to make sure that you have the TVs that are in the background had to be synced with a wire to a cable to the shutter of the camera to make sure that you wouldn't see that flicker, that line going up the screen.
yeah, right.
So everything had to be perfectly synced because TV screens go at 30 frames per second, but the film camera moves at a different rate. It's like 29 point something. And so in order to not see that line going up the screen, both had to be synced. They either had to slow down the TV or speed up the camera, something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Oh, they pulled it off amazingly. It looked great.
Yeah.
It's a great effect. I think it's another reason I just love the show because I do understand all the work that goes into those visual gags, and that's why I love them so much because it's just they're so creative and they're so hard to pull off.
I could tell you something like that gag for those few seconds that you would see easily took them hours and hours, 2, 3, 4 hours to pull that off and make that happen.
Yeah.
So that's why a 22-minute episode would take 5 days of 12 to 16, 18 hours a day.
It's so easy to breeze past them too, like especially now when like you say, everything is it's easy to take that kind of thing for granted. So I'm glad you pointed that out. That's very interesting.
You can see the camera, the TVs, like maybe a little bit of the glint of the light as the TVs are actually raising and lowering.
Yeah.
And those are CRT televisions.
Yeah.
That's what we had.
So Marty tells Parker he's proud of him. And Parker then tells Mikey about hosing his dad in order to be there for Jerry. He feels bad about it, but
that was the euphemistic way of saying I just lied to my dad.
Yeah.
Hosed him.
I hosed him. So they leave, and we hear, "My brother's a dead man," as Shelley reveals herself from behind the video rack. And then she thanks someone. I assumed Satan, even though she was looking up. She thanks someone for this day. It's very arch.
Yeah, I assume it's Satan. It must be. Or some other dark lord.
Yeah. It's Shelley, after all.
For sure.
So we cut to Valley College, a.k.a. UCLA. We discover the buds on campus with Parker extolling the virtues of campus life, namely scoping out the girls. Jerry is dressed to the nines for his date, complete with a bolo tie, which looks very sharp. This part of the campus is filled with students and information tables representing different campus organizations. Jerry is ready for his date. He has his breath mints, a campus map, and his bronchodilator. I think that's what he said. I don't know. That's what I typed, and it auto-corrected to bronchodilator, so...
It's like that's an asthma thing, right?
Yeah. And you even hear the sound effect of it.
Yeah. You can't bring one of those on screen without going at least a couple of times, you know. So they assure
Brought to you
him
by Primatene Mist.
Yes, there you go. Primatene Mist.
Sponsor us, please. They assure him that they'll be right behind him, and Jerry sets off to find Melissa. Kubiak crosses paths with Jerry, and he's trailed by a pair of scientists, and as he exits the shot, we hear the sounds of that stretching again. Jerry finds Melissa, and they exchange pleasantries.
Oh, hi, Jerry.
How's it going?
Great. I'm glad you can make it. This place is jamming.
Oh, yes, it is. Jamming.
Are you okay? You seem a little tense.
Me? Tense?
But as he turns his head, we hear and then see that his glasses have shattered. I love how he turns to the side and they're just completely exploded.
Another great gag.
Yeah.
I'm glad they didn't explode them on me.
Yeah.
With squibs. You know, or
like Musso's door. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I'm glad they didn't do that near my eyes.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I wouldn't put that past them.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Troy, you'll be fine. You'll be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did Troy go blind?
Yeah. We can't make you work too often. You know, we got to pay attention to those OSHA standards, but let's blow some stuff up by your face.
And that's how Troy Slaten went blind.
Yes.
I did once go to the hospital.
Oh, no.
From a gag.
Uh-oh. Do you know what? Can you say what gag it was?
I don't remember. I know you guys are going to come to it at some point.
Yeah.
I don't know if you already had, but there was a thing where I float up to the top of the gym, and there's like a disco ball or something where I'm levitated up, and I rise up somewhere. I'm not sure what episode.
Yeah, I don't think we've seen that yet.
But it's something where I go up, and so they were testing me in the rigging. And it's where I'm in like a full suit underneath my wardrobe with steel plates on the suit on the side of me that they attached the cables to. Yeah. And so the cables go up, and just like somebody would fly on a Broadway stage.
Broadway, yeah.
So they have that, and they lift me up, and the director's there, and he's looking, okay, well, we're going to be able to do it this way or this way, and that's how we're going to film it. And then the guys who are holding the cables on both sides, the rigging that had lifted me up off the ground, they put me down. I'm down on the ground. I'm fine. And then both the guys, as I'm down fine on the ground, they let go of the rigging, and all of the steel bar and the chain and the wires, all the rigging comes down, clunks me on the head.
Oh,
and I'm like,
yikes.
And
were you out cold?
Yeah, out onto the ground. And so then I get taken to the hospital, and maybe, I don't know, x-rays, whatever, make sure I'm okay.
No.
No fractures, nothing.
Yeah.
I was okay.
Thank God.
Yeah, it kind of just like knocked me out.
Oh, dude, that's crazy.
Stuff happens.
Yeah, that's true.
Safety is important on the set.
Yes.
Yeah. When you're trying
and the other guy's like, I thought you had it. No, I thought you had it. I was sure you had it.
Oh, God.
Meanwhile, you're passed out Family Guy style.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And my mom was probably beside herself.
I'm sure.
Probably so.
Oh,
that was season 1. My mom was still there on the set with me every day.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll keep an eye out for that. So in a nearby tree, Parker asks Mikey what he sees through his binoculars, and Mikey hands Parker the binoculars in a panic. And Parker sees why. Musso and Frank are on campus.
And in that shot, there's a great banner behind him, because it says the Scholastic Discipline Conference that they were talking about, and it says, "Welcome, authoritarians."
That's funny. So the buds are cut off and conclude that for now, Jerry is on his own. Parker assures Mikey that Jerry will be fine. that he probably doesn't even realize that they're gone. And then we cut to Jerry, who is very aware that they are gone. As his anxiety rises, his older self arises from behind, telling Jerry this was a big mistake. Melissa asks Jerry what he wants to do first, but he's frozen, and his older self lets loose with an evil cackle. Jerry hyperventilates into commercial. I do like how he rose up behind you there. It's just an interesting, it was very like a ghost or something, just, coming up behind you. It's pretty cool. Okay, so when we come back, we're at campus orientation, and a Ren Fair fan tosses a Frisbee, and the camera follows the camera follows the camera. I got a little typo there. Camera follows the Frisbee as it narrowly avoids a number of students and then lands in a bush. And I made a note here about the shot that you mentioned earlier, Troy. That was pretty cool.
Just that was clearly, a Spicer special. With and that they had to work with the special effects guy, Fred. We need a servo. We need some sort of motor that will spin this thing, and then it was some complicated thing underneath the Frisbee that would be on spinning, but it had to spin just right. It couldn't wobble because then it wouldn't look right. So they probably spent, again, hours making sure that was
worked
good.
Just right. Yeah,
it's a great shot.
You said it was a Ren Fair fan. I have a note later too about this. But why is there a Renaissance fair going on?
It's college, man.
That's what you do. You play Frisbee. You do Renaissance stuff.
Yeah, exactly. I assume that he was probably just from one of the groups there or something, one of the clubs or whatever.
Yeah.
So we pan up from the bush, and we see Parker and Mikey still trying to stay hidden in another tree.
And I'm pretty sure this is the same damn tree.
Yeah,
because I actually looked at the knot patterns on the tree. I'm like, it's the same damn tree.
You looked at the knot patterns.
My second note here is yes, I have a problem. I'm that anal and I start looking at shit like that.
I didn't know you were an arborist in your spare time.
He just takes notes on all knot patterns everywhere. It's really annoying. So. They've lost Jerry and Musso at this point, but they quickly see her and run for their lives. And then Musso and Frank pass by an ROTC table, where Frank admires an extremely shiny helmet. Musso tells him not to dilly-dally, and as he leaves, he salutes these two cadets standing at attention. And after he's gone, the cadets reveal themselves to be Parker and Mikey. And I like the military-style version of the theme playing there.
Yeah,
it's pretty cool sounding. Yeah. All snare drum and whistles. Jerry is still searching for the buds when Melissa spies a display for bungee jumping, manned by a couple of people wearing slings and other assorted bandaging. Right.
They were clearly injured advertising the bungee jumping.
Yes. It's a great gag. And then also they have like a little model, like a small model of a bridge, and there's little people on it. And one of the guys flicks one of the people off the bridge, and there's actually like a sound effect of somebody screaming. It does that.
Yeah, it's like,
yes.
It's ridiculous. She's super excited by the prospect of bungee jumping, which Jerry finds stunning. It's dangerous and illegal. Melissa asks him if he's ever done anything spontaneous before, and he checks around to see if anybody's listening, and then he admits to having reused a stamp one time.
Having steamed it off.
Yes. Yeah, steamed it off and reused it. I like, he just has that look on his face afterwards of like he's been caught or something.
Yeah.
And a little bit ashamed to admit it.
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah. She finds this delightful, and she puts her hand on his shoulder, which causes him to go all aflutter again.
Where he puts his hand on that space and then looks at his hand as if somehow her hand had transferred onto his hand, and he can see it and is looking at it.
Yeah. Yep.
Exactly.
It's called love, man.
And he's not looking at his shoulder walking away, but he transfers it to his own hand.
Yeah, it's great.
It'd be funny if he like walked off and then maybe kissed it.
You should have done that, Troy.
That would have been hilarious.
You think of all the good stuff too late.
Yeah, exactly.
When I was a lawyer, I gave my absolute best closing arguments as I was driving away from the trial.
Of course.
Who are we to play God with the kid's life?
So we cut to the exam room. And in here, Kubiak is seated on an exam table with diagnostic straps attached around various parts of his body.
Now, Mr. Kubiak, I have to warn you, we here at the university are highly skeptical about these growth spurts you claim to be experiencing.
Just as he says this, we hear the telltale stretching and tearing, and all the straps fly off of Kubiak violently, pinning the researchers to the wall. "Shall we begin our tests?" says the chastened doctor. So we cut back to the campus exterior. Mikey and Parker continue their search for Jerry, narrowly escaping discovery by Miss Musso and Frank, who are strolling the campus, commenting on the decadence of campus life. And Miss Musso refers to the campus as a disciplinary motherlode. And then we're treated to this musical montage of Jerry and Melissa's activities on campus now. They're eating some sort of kebabs underneath a tree, and I noticed that Jerry dropped all of his on the ground. It all fell off his kebab stick. And then they're inside inspecting a Spoons Through the Ages exhibit. And then they're attending a lecture at one point, and Jerry attempts the old yawn and put your arm around the girl trick. But the instructor mistakes this for Jerry raising his hand and calls on him. And after some hesitation, Jerry stands up and delivers like a boss. We don't hear any of this, but like he's, the actions on screen.
No, it's all music or VO over.
Yeah. Whatever he says is stunning and it impresses Melissa. Jerry is one smart cookie. We cut to the campus exterior again. Jerry and Melissa are enjoying ice cream cones outside and discussing the virtues of campus life. Jerry's really impressed by the unlimited lens tissues available.
For which I've stolen a box somehow and already have it Velcroed. Velcroed into my jacket, which I should have been using some of the lens tissue on the ice cream that is streaming down my hand. So clearly it's real ice cream for that shot because it's melted.
She tells him she thinks he's so cute. And then we hear this voice from off camera call her name. A ponytailed college student she introduces as Evan.
Drats.
Damn.
And Evan is played by Josh Lucas, who went on to do a bunch of stuff. American Psycho, A Beautiful Mind. What else we got here? Sweet Home Alabama.
That's the guy from American Psycho.
Ford versus Ferrari, and he did a bunch of 9 episodes of Yellowstone and a bunch of other stuff too. But
so Evan leans in and kisses her on the cheek, which is just insulting. Like, Jerry's right there.
Yes.
So Jerry looks away, and she introduces him to Evan, who reaches out to shake Jerry's hand without breaking eye contact with Melissa, and he gets a handful of melted ice cream for his troubles. So he should be paying attention.
Yeah.
That's what you get.
Yeah, that's right, Evan. So he asks if Jerry is her little cousin. And she tells him that Jerry is a friend. Evan and Melissa used to date when I was a freshman last year, I guess. She's a sophomore, right? So
yeah.
At this point, Evan says he needs to go to rehearsal and asks if he can call her, and she says yes. And then he literally bids them adieu. It's like, adieu.
Pump his ass.
Yeah.
Douchebag. Yeah. So Melissa tells Jerry how weird that was. She was just thinking about Evan. And Jerry accidentally wipes ice cream across half his face and then excuses himself. I think it was an accident. I don't know what was going on there, but it looked like he just accidentally smeared the ice cream all over his face. I couldn't tell if he was trying to get, come up with an excuse to walk off or what, but
no, I think it was an accident, and then had to leave, leaving her questioning what's going on. Why is he taking off?
Yeah. So we cut back to the exam room. Kubiak is on the exam table on his stomach, and Dr. Egghead warns him that he may feel a slight pin prick as he administers a shot. And then Kubiak lets forth with an enormous scream of pain, which blows the windows out of the room. And when we cut back, he says, "Ow." So we're back in the auditorium, and Miss Musso is giving a presentation about discipline, and her visual aid shows a school-wide disciplinary plan. And I made a note here because I thought it was funny that this plan had playground rules on it. Because she's a high school teacher, but they've got playground rules, and then some of the punishments listed include not getting to play on the playground for 1 to 5 days. I want to go to that high school. To go out and play on the playground.
She's teaching the elementary school principals.
Yes.
Probably.
You can never start the authoritarianism too early.
Too early, yeah. Exactly.
If you don't whip them in line by kindergarten, then they'll be unruly their entire school career.
They're just a lost cause.
Bunch of damn Parker Lewises running around.
Right.
So as she finishes, she asks for questions, telling the crowd one at a time, and then one of the 5 people present ask her if there is room for amnesty in the modern school setting. And I made a note here that this was, did you want to read this, Chip?
Yeah, this is Noni White, who was a screenwriter for many Disney animated films of the 90s.
I thought that was really interesting. Yeah.
That's the one who asked her the question?
Yeah. It's always interesting to look at the credits for people who have like one line like that, where you're like, I bet they know somebody or they are somebody, and then you go look at the list and it's like, oh, she co-wrote on Tarzan, for God's sake, Wow. Anyway.
So I'm guessing if she's a screenwriter, maybe she's a friend of one of the screenwriters of this show or something.
Could be.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, I'll come on and say a line or something.
Yeah. So Miss Musso says there is room for amnesty and proceeds to describe 2 students she released from punishment in order to deal with a family crisis. She says her students reciprocate such acts of kindness with trust and respect. And just then, those very same students burst into the auditorium in search of Jerry. And when they see Miss Musso and she sees them, they flee. And we cut to the campus exterior, where Jerry is strolling alone amongst the various stands, and he runs into his older self again. And he runs from this figment of his imagination, which his older self only encourages. He says Melissa is having a terrible time, and as Jerry walks away, he again bumps into himself. Older Jerry tells him he could be playing Nintendo or polishing his spoons instead of making a fool of himself. He points to Melissa, who is standing with a group of super 90s dudes, laughing and laughing at whatever's being said. Jerry admits defeat, and his older self pats him on the back, and as Jerry turns to leave, he's yanked behind a bush by Mikey and Parker.
Just in the nick of time.
Just in the nick of time, that's right.
You notice how they get a lot of mileage off the spoons jokes.
They do. I was going to say, Jerry loves his spoons, man. Yeah. Jerry loves his spoons.
It goes back to Jerry having the Spoons of the World collection.
Because that was from the pilot, right?
I think it was.
Yeah. That's the one thing we really know about Jerry is his love of spoons.
His love of spoons and video games.
Yes. That's right.
And that he's a great cook.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and doesn't let the jelly out the side of the sandwich.
He's always got frozen yogurt and gummy bears at call too.
Yeah,
on demand.
Man, we know a lot about Jerry. What are we talking about? So they ask him for an update. He tells them how terribly things are going. Total crash and burn, he says. They apologize for not being there since they had to deal with Musso. And then we hear Melissa calling out for Jerry, and Mikey gasps and points to Musso and Frank, who are also searching for them. Jerry is startled that Melissa is actually trying to find him. I like that. That's the realization for him. It's like, holy shit, she's actually looking for me. Maybe she's not miserable, Self-esteem's a little low there. But I relate.
Melissa wants to talk with me?
Okay, Jer, we'll buy you some time. Come on, Mikey. Musso sidetrack plan A.
Run! Right!
Hey, what do you want on short notice?
That is such a great gag.
Yeah. So that's another example in this episode where Parker and Mikey go out on a limb, get themselves in trouble just to help Jerry.
These guys are great. I love all these
buds do.
They're so sweet.
The buds do.
Yep. So Melissa finds Jerry, asking him where he's been, and he tells her that he thought she'd want to be by herself, which confuses her. He tells her he says she was having such a great time with her friends on their date, but she cuts him off to tell him that's crazy. That she was having a great time with him, but then she stops.
Oh, wait a minute. Did you think we were on a date?
A date? Me? Of course not.
I'm sorry, Jerry. I thought we were just hanging out as friends. But I like being with you.
But when I saw you with Evan, I thought...
Him? He's already hopelessly in love with himself. And for some reason, a lot of guys are like that. Into themselves. But not you. You make me laugh. You care about me and you're considerate. I like that. I like you.
So, wanna go steady?
Yeah, right. No. Maybe we should see each other a few more times first.
But she says maybe they should see each other a few more times and that he can call her. And then he whips out his cell phone and starts dialing. And she tells him, wait till later.
Slow your roll, Jerry. Slow your roll.
He's very excited.
I've got a cell phone.
Yeah, no. He's trying to show off the cell phone. So then she leans in and gives him a kiss. And as she walks back towards the orientation booths, Older Jerry walks by with a pretty lady on his arm and thanks Jerry. And then older Jerry and the young lady walk away.
And in a Miami Vice style suit.
Yes, that's right.
Like a bright blue or something.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, otherwise known as super cool.
Right.
Just
super
like those
cool 1991.
Guys.
Exactly. Yeah. And my note here was about the Renaissance Fair thing, because in the distance you can actually see a bunch of Ren Fair people, and somebody's actually in a suit of armor in the background.
That's the cool club, man.
That's the costumers being like, we have all this Renaissance stuff. You know, I saw it in the vault. You know, let's use it.
Exactly.
Why not? Yeah. So we see Miss Musso and Frank in the foreground, and Parker and Mikey tiptoe behind them, Hanna-Barbera style. And then from off camera, we hear Marty Lewis complimenting Shelley on her idea to come to this orientation to pick up college brochures for Parker. So just then, Parker and Mikey emerge beside them, congratulating each other for their escape from Musso. And Mr. Lewis is stunned to see Parker.
Did you run out of paint?
No, I was gonna call and,
Well, looks like this family emergency isn't very serious.
It is now.
It's a great read. Tim Stack.
So we're back in the exam room. Dr. Egghead explains to Kubiak that the treatments have slowed his growth spurts, but there may be some side effects. And then we pull out to reveal Larry in full ZZ Top attire, with the beard, the glasses. I think he's wearing the hat. And then he looks back at the camera, nods, and walks off.
Here's a little fun fact trivia about one of those 3 doctors that was there in the exam room. One of them I recognized was my stand-in.
Oh, yeah, okay.
When they're pinned up against the wall, he's the one on screen left.
Okay.
On far left. And he was the brother-in-law of Robert Lewis, the producer.
Okay.
So he's the brother of Robert Lewis's wife. Cool. A little fun fact there. And he was my stand-in, I think, all 3 years.
Okay.
Yeah. I love when you see a stand-in on screen like that. I remember seeing like a number of times where the guy who stood in for Brent Spiner on Star Trek The Next Generation would be like in the background or deliver one line or whatever, you know.
The ZZ Top, it's a good look for Coob, though, man.
It was great.
The beard and the long hair.
Full ZZ Top.
Yes, full ZZ Top.
I'm surprised they didn't do like a guitar that like spins around, you know.
Yes.
Great. Where'd he get the guitar? Who cares?
Who cares?
Who cares? He's ZZ Top.
Yeah.
Imminent danger, sirs.
So we cut to the classroom. Parker and Mikey are rolling paint over the graffiti. And in voiceover, Parker tells us it is safe to assume his Saturdays will be busy for the next century, but that it was worth it. He and Mikey got a taste of campus life, and Jerry is a happier, healthier person now. And then we see Jerry, who is painting the window glass in the classroom door, with another dim look on his face.
Still in a trance over Melissa.
Still totally in a trance, yep.
With the Gilligan Painters Camp.
I know. I was going to say the hat.
It was great.
Jerry brought that one from home. So Parker drags Jerry away from the door. And then we cut to our end credit gag. And we're back at the Xerox machine. This time Frank is leaning over it. And he sprawls himself across the glass. And when he hits the button and the light flashes, all that remains is a bat.
I love that gag. I love it.
Yeah, that's so funny. Because it's not even like big and detailed. It's just like a cutout of a bat.
Yes.
It's hilarious.
It's like the Sesame Street bat.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Yeah.
What have you got to say for yourselves?
I like the fact that like this could have easily gone into the trope of the friend zone thing, you know. And I was kind of struck when they're having their conversation towards the end where she's talking about like she didn't think it was a date. She thought, she thinks of him as a friend, but then she talks about the things about him and the way he treats her that she likes. And, and then he's like, you want to go steady? I like that she doesn't immediately say, nah, dude, I said friends.
Yeah.
But she does say, maybe we should go out a few more times, which is very much like not a sitcom result you would expect.
So you're saying there's a chance.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. I just like that's a more mature, we've noticed that watching this show that a lot of the high school relationships are written in a more mature fashion, than shows of the time, I think, or shows before that. And this is just another occasion where that kind of stood out to me. Yeah.
That was one of the great things about the show. I mean, it's a sitcom. It's got wild, silly gags, but then it also had some like serious, tender moments. It had some real like after school special drama feel to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was one of the things that made the show really cool. It had crazy visual gags, stupid effects, and stupid, silly lines for quick jokes. But then it had a serious moment. It had its moments.
100%.
It tackled some serious issues.
Yeah. I was going to say, I just think the writers tackled that. They never relied on tropes to like tie up the episode, they tried to find a different way out and different kind of resolution, even if it's just a minor twist on what we normally see. But I think they did a great job.
Yeah, and they treat it's treating the audience with respect when you do that. You're not just dumbing it down. You're going for it's smarter. In the way that it handles those kinds of moments.
Yeah,
and it's nice. It's a nice juxtaposition to the goofy shit. Which
the audience appreciated it.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Oh, totally.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
What was it like for you to watch this again, Troy? When's the last time you saw this? Do you remember?
It's been a while since I've seen it, but it was great. I remember AJ Langer, super sweet. She must have been so cool to me that I asked her out to a movie premiere.
Yeah.
So
that's great.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Of course, anytime there was a Jerry centric episode, I loved it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Getting to be the center of attention.
Yes.
But, yeah, it was great. I think it was a really fun episode.
On the next Synchronize Swatches.
All right, I'm going in cold. So next episode is, what is the next episode?
We'll do it live. We'll do it live.
Season 1, episode 22, Against the Norm.
Uh-oh. I know what that means.
Mr. Dr. Pankow's up to no
More
good.
Pankow. That's right. Mr. Dr. Pankow.
The last confrontation between Grace Musso and Dr. Pankow left Pankow in shambles. Now he's back begging Grace for a job at Santo Domingo. Parker knows better than to trust him and is out to get to the bottom of his plan. Pankow was left in shambles. Didn't we already say that?
Yep.
In a game of cat and mouse, Pankow, Musso, and Parker Lewis are out to win. With twists and turns all around, who will... it's still going. I got to click through.
There's more.
Oh, no, now there's a pop-up ad. Damn it.
This one's on you, man.
Yes. With twists and turns all around, who will come out on top? This one wasn't too bad, except, like I say, they just threw that line in again. I don't know why. Well, Troy, we won't take up too much more of your time, man, but
Thank you so much.
Really appreciate you coming out to do this again.
I appreciate you guys. I love that you're doing this, and please have me on anytime. I'm happy to do it again. If you come across another Jerry-centric episode, I'm sure you will. I'm happy to join you guys anytime and help you. I will help pull you through season 3, I promise.
Awesome. Coolness.
Awesome.
Thank you, sir.
Bye, guys.
Thanks, man.
My brother's a dead man.
My friend Jerry said you guys were going to do something really neat today.
WKRP in Cincinnati.